Welcome to Museo Regrets.
Hello.
This is our 1979 Chevrolet C10. It has a small block Chevy 350 under the hood and a TH350 transmission. It does not look wonderful, but it runs pretty good.
Yes, it does run wonderfully. But we're trying to slowly but surely make a few cosmetic updates, and we decided to start with the rear bumper. So in this video, you'll see how we removed it and refinished it.
So stick around.
This is what our C10 bumper currently looks like. It has some surface rust and some dents.
We're going to start by removing this bolt you can see in the corner of the bumper. There's one in each side. We tried using the impact gun with the 3/4 inch socket, but the bolt kept turning in the other end. So what we ended up doing is holding the bolt in place with some pliers and then using the ratchet to remove it.
After removing that corner bolt, we moved on to remove these two inner bolts that help to hold the bumper in place.
For these bolts, you will have to hold in place the nut with a wrench and then use your other hand to remove the bolt.
Now we're going to repeat the exact same process on the other side.
Now try to hold the bumper from the center part and then pull backwards towards you until it comes out of place. Be careful because it will be attached to some wiring.
Remove these connectors to fully detach the bumper.
Now the bumper can finally come off. As we mentioned before, our bumper had a dent, so I'm just using a hammer and hitting the bumper in that dent area to try to work it out.
The next step is to remove all surface rust. We are using a wire wheel attachment on a drill.
Don't forget to remove the plate and check if there's any surface rust behind it.
That's going to be good enough for us today. We're going to move on to using a degreaser to clean it before we begin priming and painting.
Then quickly rinse it off and let it dry.
Each can of primer is going to be different, so make sure you read your instructions for your primer. But we're going to start with light coats, and we're going to do a total of 3 of them. For both our primer and our paint, the can recommends to do light coats only a few minutes apart, and then once you've finished your multiple coats, let it dry for an extended period of time. So that's what we're going to do.
Now we're going to move on to paint. We're using this Rust-Oleum trim and bumper paint, which we've had really good results with in the past, so here we go.
This is what our bumper looks like after the 3rd coat, so now we're going to let it dry.
After 24 hours of drying, our bumper is ready for installation. The first step for installation will be to insert both corner bolts into the bumper, and then we will use those to secure it in place to the truck.
Here you can see a better view of exactly where we're aiming to get these bolts into.
So here we go. Let's put the bumper on, and again, with the help of a second person, this job becomes much easier than if you're trying to do it by yourself.
We are going to reinstall the nut, tightening it by hand first. Also, don't forget your washer.
Now that the corner bolts are installed by hand, you still have a little bit of wiggle room to make these two holes line up to be able to thread the bolt through.
Now it's time to reinstall the nuts. We are going to do so by using a ratchet and a wrench to secure one side while we tighten the other.
Now we're going to do the same thing in the other side. As you can see, these holes don't line up, but since the corner bolt is not fully tightened, we still have that wiggle room we were talking about before to adjust it.
Now we can finally securely tighten the corner bolts to complete our installation of our bumper. And let's take a look at our before and our after.
Wow. Thank you so much for watching. What do you all think? It turned out pretty good, right?
Yes, let us know in the comments down below what you think of it. And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, especially because we have more C10 content coming shortly. So if you're a C10 fan, make sure to subscribe. You won't want to miss a thing.
Yeah, or follow us on Instagram as well, because we share quite a bit more C10 content there.
Yes. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Just quick reminder, don't forget and drive away without your plate, just like we did to go to Home Depot.